What's going on, man? Welcome back to the basement. Amron, we're out here doing another live stream. We got the Super Bowl tomorrow. We got the big board just dropped on Underdog. Their first 2023 draft or draft tournament. So we have a lot to get into today. We'll talk some Super Bowl. We'll talk some Dynasty. We're going to hop into a big board draft. How are we doing? If you're in here, let me know if you could hear me. Let me know if the stream is good. Let me know if the quality is good. Let me know if I'm looking crispy here. As you guys can see, I'm in a new chair, right? I don't have like the white sort of like racer chair behind me. Got a little bit of an upgrade, or kind of an upgrade, but something that's a little bit better for my back. How is everybody doing? Trying to figure out what we should be getting into here. We got Brock in here. Brock is doing a draft right now. What the hell, dude? How is everybody? If you're coming in here, drop a like. Say what's up. I'm trying to see who's in here. How are we? Soup is ready to go? What do you mean soup is ready to go? Oh, jeez, dude. How is everybody doing, man? Anybody been playing that new Harry Potter game? I played a little bit last night. Having a lot more fun than I thought I was going to. We got Chris Clark in here. Soup is ready to go. You just did a draft with round 2, Josh Allen. This is a good question, but I want to get to it when there's more people in here once we get into a draft. I'm doing a draft right now. For everybody that's in here, if you haven't already hopped on Underdog, or if you've already hopped on Underdog, this is a site-wide promo. It does not matter at all if you are a new user, a returning user, a veteran user like myself. There is a site-wide special. As you guys can see, Jalen Hurts, higher or lower than 0.5 total yards. It's literally just one of those, free squares type things. They have their higher or lowers. You get 2 right, you get 3 extra money, 3 right, 6 extra money. Pretty much a way to have some fun during the Super Bowl. So they're throwing you a bone here with Jalen Hurts. If you're a new user, if you're a returning user, all of that good stuff, it all works. Jalen Hurts, he's on the app. If you're new to the app, make sure you use promo code RON. They'll match your deposit up to $100, and you can send that money onto the Jalen Hurts over 0.5 total yards. Now, we're going to get into a big board draft, which is Underdog's new tournament they just dropped. So if you want to get some drafts in, especially right now where if you're a sicko, you're watching this video, you probably love Dynasty Fantasy Football. Zach Evans is going in the 200s. It is truly the wild, wild west. You have Kayshon Boutte going like the 12th round. A lot of these guys who should be moved up like 5 rounds higher. So you can get a lot of value right now for drafting early, for putting in the work, doing the homework, and knowing who these guys are. So let's hop into one of these drafts and kind of mess around, see where players are going. We got Nathan in here. What's going on? How are we doing? Brock said, yep, I did the Hurts prop, A.J. Brown over receiving yards and Mahomes over fantasy points. Okay. I like that. I will say it's a bummer that in Jersey I can't do these. I would love to. I love player props. All right, let me share my screen. Just minimize this. We'll take this down eventually, but I just want to leave it here. All right, so as you guys see, the big board is right here. But I do want to see. So here's the pick 'em. I'm super tiny right now. I am curious to see what they got right now. Give me NFL, dude. Do any of these speak to me? You're going over on 20.95 fantasy points for so you're doing Mahomes fantasy points, you're doing A.J. Brown receiving yards. Okay. I think I like that call. A.J. Brown receiving yards, 72.5. I like that. I want to see if there's anything else that kind of sticks out. Dude, I kind of like Kenneth Gainwell unders, man. He popped off in their last 2 playoff games, but they were blowouts. I don't know that Kenneth Gainwell gets a ton of run in the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts. What's MVS at? 37.5? Dude, I kind of love MVS over 6.25 fantasy points, dude. I absolutely love that. He could make like, he gets 2 catches and he might just get there, dude. Could score a touchdown. There's a lot of outs to get to 6.25 fantasy points for MVS. Anything else stick out? I don't hate under 10.05 fantasy points for Pacheco, but I'm gonna chill on that. I actually do like the over 20.95 as well. All right. So let's hop into one of these big boards. What we came here to do. Boom. If anybody wants to hop into one of these, again, promo code Ron. It is pinned in the live chat. It is going to be pinned in the description. It's going to be pinned in the comments down below. Use the link. It'll take you right to Underdog to use my promo code, and it'll match your deposit up to $100. You can get into these big board drafts and draft now. This is for the 2023 season. First place gets $200,000, which is insane. I don't know why it's lagging, but here we go. We're hopping into one. There's only 2 spots to do. These things are filling fast too, man. All right, so how should we position ourselves in the draft room? I want to show you guys the draft board because I think that's going to be the most interesting thing to look at in these. So let's see real quick. You said, even without landing spots, I'm scooping as many late round rookie RBs as I can. Yeah, me too, dude. It's literally free money. Like, they're drafting guys who are going to get day 2 draft capital just way too late. I was surprised, like, even the stock ADP from yesterday was really bad, man. Like, Zach Evans was outside of the top 200 picks, dude. That can't happen. Any of you guys in here? Do I recognize anybody? I recognize No Soup for You, but he's just an OG, I think. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. All right, hold on. I like this. We'll do draft board. And then I guess we'll just kind of clutter things up down here. And we'll just keep on scooting things over. Huh. Let's put this here. Put me here. I feel like this is too tiny now. I think I'm going to have to hide it for now. All right. I think that this looks good. So what else we got in here? I'm probably going to make picks from my phone. I could switch back and forth, but I think it doesn't look great. Yeah, I could switch back and forth, though. What do we got? Can't draft in Cali yet. Hate to see that. Traded Kelsey for Goddard in a 24 first. I don't hate it. Under Noah Gray. I don't hate under 1.5 reception for Noah Gray. But I do like him as like a sneaky. He's a sneaky guy. I agree with Roshan Johnson. He's been somebody I've been drafting a lot of. I've done 5 of these so far, so I don't know about a lot of, but I've gotten him in a majority of these drafts. Now, I will say, they're just going to see how ADP looks right now, too. You have Kelsey, Eckler, Hill, Diggs, Devontae, Taylor, Green. Then you have Bijan at 12.6. It's pretty crazy how much people are just completely willing to embrace Bijan at this point, and I'm all for it. I think like when we talk about the legendary upside at running back, I mean, we live in an NFL right now where there is none of that, and I'm completely fine just chasing the unknown with Bijan Robinson. I think a lot of the upside at running back right now is going to come from the youth. Outside of McCaffrey and Eckler, and even then I don't think Eckler even has 23-plus point per game upside. All right, so we're on the clock here. We might just take Bijan for the fun of it, huh? Let's actually I can't pass up Diggs here. I can't pass up Diggs. I would have loved to go Bijan, but I can't pass up Diggs at this spot. I can't. I'm truly sorry for that. Let me take the ringer off my phone. What else we got in here? the Chiefs play a lot of man and blitz, and A.J. Brown is number 1 in the NFL, yards per route run against man. I imagine Devonta Smith is up there too. But yeah, I agree. I think A.J. Brown, I think Devonta Smith, both of them are kind of due. I feel like neither of them have really popped off during the playoffs. Ron, what do you think about Keaton Mitchell? Seems like Diet Tyjae Spears. Keaton Mitchell's been popping in the model. Now, I got to be honest with you guys. The reason why, I mean, I've said this a million times on the channel. I'm sure that you guys know at this point. The reason why content isn't plentiful right now is because I'm doing stuff behind the scenes in the spreadsheets. Dude, I've been putting in like 12 to 15 hour days in the spreadsheets, and I'm finally completely done with the running back model. Now, I know I've already had these done before, but I tweaked them. I wanted to add some new stats. I added a new stat to the running back model where I put in, and it's what really helped the R squared on it. I put in receiving PPR points per game. So it's essentially just PPR points per game, but it's only from the receiving game. It's receptions, receiving yards, receiving touchdowns. And it's just a way, right? We want points per game in the NFL. Right now, receiving points per game kind of highlights that ceiling, and that really juiced the model. So you have that. And it has taken like the R squared, which is just like how accurate the model is. It took it from draft capital is like 0.4. It was at, I believe, 0.523. As of today, it's at 0.562. So 0.52 to 0.56 is actually a lot in R squared. I know it sounds like decimals, but it is a lot. The model is completely locked in here. I would have taken Bijan if he fell back to me, but I'm just going to go Allen and stack up Diggs. Now, I want to talk about in a little bit. Brock had a really good comment on quarterbacks going so high. Like, in a home league with my buddies, I am never, ever, ever, ever taking Josh Allen 204, even if I have Stephon Diggs. There is never a world where that's happening. But these best ball streets, these 0.5 PPR best ball streets, have kind of made a weird environment for that, along with stacking. Now, I was saying all of that nonsense about my model because I believe it kind of likes Keaton Mitchell here. It might even like Keaton Mitchell more than Tyjae Spears, dude. And I know that some people will get upset if I say that out loud. But let's see for a second. I have my RS grades pulled up in a background sheet here. And yeah, the model actually really likes Keaton Mitchell. He's a silver. So as you guys know, it goes bronze, silver, gold, elite, legendary. Silver's pretty damn good for a guy like Keaton Mitchell who has 5th round draft capital. But the model actually likes him more than Tyjae Spears. Now, if Tyjae Spears goes day 2 and tests well, then Tyjae Spears probably comes out ahead of Keaton Mitchell. But I do like that idea that he is he's the cheap version. Keaton Mitchell's very interesting. Very interesting. Somebody I'll have my eye on. Somebody as well that I like in that same archetype in terms of like cheap pass catchers. I like Evan Hull as well. Evan Hull, Northwestern kid. Looks very good on paper. Now, by the way, my RS grades, I have done the tweak on running backs, the tweak on wide receivers. Everything is much better correlation-wise. I swear to God, wide receivers a little bit tougher, but running back model, I really don't know if anybody out there is beating a 0.562 R squared to average points per game over a player's first 3 years. So in terms of predicting fantasy production in a player's first 3 years, my running back model is pretty damn good. And that's all available on the Patreon, patreon.com/Ron Stewart. I will have those updated on Patreon once I'm done with all of them. So wide receiver and running backs are done. I just have to finish the quarterbacks tomorrow, doing a little bit of a tweak. I found ESPN actually has EPA per play data on the quarterbacks right now. My bad for not showing the draft board there. But all right, enough talking about my model here. Now, all right, so let's make this pick first. And then I do want to talk about the new kind of landscape. I would love ETN here. Let me get ETN. Oh. Third round Ramondre doesn't feel good at all, fellas. I hate to say that. Third round Ramondre does not feel good at all. Third round Pollard does not feel good at all. None of this feels good, but I guess I'll go Debo. I don't mind Debo there. What else we got? What else have I missed? Oh yeah, so I wanted to talk about what Brock said earlier on. Do you think Allen and Mahomes are overpriced? Learn the hard way. I learned the hard way as well. I got burned super, super hard for not having elite quarterbacks as well. And here's the issue with it. Because I think you're absolutely right. We were burned last year. If you didn't take a quarterback in the first 5 rounds last year on underdog, you probably didn't profit. Now the issue is that the market has really overcorrected here. We have a guy like Justin Fields going 3rd round, whereas identical profile to Jalen Hurts last year, who was like a 6th, 7th round pick. So you're paying an absolute premium on these guys. I do think things will kind of overcorrect here, where, that's a lot of you're taking a lot of risks there with Justin Fields in the 3rd round, over some good players. The way I've been playing it is if I have a stack lined up, then I should probably take that quarterback earlier. I want to mix in early quarterback builds, but I think there's 100% value in waiting and taking 3 later of like Kyler, Trey Lance, Deshaun Watson, I think even Daniel Jones, Tua. Like, there are a bunch of guys that I don't mind sort of throwing quantity at over quality. Man, Najee in the 4th round is interesting, guys. Najee in the 4th round is very interesting. Let's go Calvin Ridley, though. We might just embrace a full-on 0 RB squad here. So I do agree. I don't think I'm going to be fading the early quarterbacks. I think that's just not a smart move in this format with 0.5 PPR, how much quarterback scoring matters. But it's tough, man, because I got burned here last year taking these guys in the 70s. But I do think if you can go like round 10 or later and go, like Kyler, I think Russ is fine in this price range. I think Trey Lance is great. I think Anthony Richardson is way too low. Yeah, Anthony Richardson's down here. I think you can string things together. I kind of want to mix in like 50-50. It's weird. But I agree, things have overcorrected. Like, I don't think if you go into your drafts and like 80% of the time this year, take a quarterback in the first 3 rounds, I don't know that you come out super, super profitable. I don't know. It's very tough. All right, what else we got in here? Do love Keaton Mitchell, though. Bijan went 3rd pick in a draft you did. I don't hate that. Like, I almost debated. I had the 102. And again, I've talked about this before, but I don't go into these underdog drafts like I have a gun to my head and I need to, scrape to first place. I go into these and just try and get weird and different and experiment. I wanted to take him 2nd overall just to get a different look. Said also Bijan will only go up in ADP from here. If it's a good landing spot, he will go up. This is the cheapest he'll be. I think that there's some scenarios where he could lose value. Like, what if he goes to a weird landing spot? Like, what if he goes to like I don't know. What if he goes to, what team would be crazy enough to take him with another running back already on the roster? The only one I can really think of would be like what if the Vikings did it and still had Dalvin Cook on the books? But I do agree. I think most of it. I think most of it is profit. What else we got in here? Also, feel free, fellas. Like, this is a fantasy stream, but feel free to drop any Dynasty questions, redraft questions. Pick my brain on anything. Pick my brain on if you want to talk Super Bowl. I'm down to talk Super Bowl. We have that going on tomorrow. I'm down to just talk it up, fellas. Let me know. Get in the chat. Say what's up. Like the stream. Evan Hull doesn't look like he'll jump out the gym, though he's a very smart receiver. Yeah, 100%. I don't think that he'll be athletic, but I think that he'll be like, I'm trying to think of kind of he kind of looks like Rex Burkhead, but better, Something like that. I'm trying to think of like kind of like unathletic receivers at running back. Unathletic pass catchers at running back. I feel like there's not a ton. Ron the Don, thank you, Kyle, for coming through. How are we doing, baby? How are we doing, baby? Yep, the teams I legit just took an elite QB because of stacks. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how I want to, sort of fall into the elite quarterback. Like, I'm not just going to take, like, if I don't have Diggs, like, I'm not just going to take, Allen in the second round. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't understand this guy here, like Devontae Adams, and then taking Mahomes here. I don't know what that's doing for you. All right, so we're on the clock here. I don't even know what's available right now. Ooh, Jahmyr Gibbs. Should we go Jahmyr Gibbs? First running back and kind of a zero RB team? Let's do it. Let's do Jahmyr Gibbs as our RB1 on a zero RB team. I think that could be very fun. Let's see. I think if you don't have a QB by the time T-Law goes off the board, then you may be screwed. Yeah. I sort of agree, but I think that there's two windows. You either get them early or you get them late. I do agree Trevor Lawrence is kind of in that area. Like, I don't really want to spend a 6 or 7 round pick on Dak or Deshaun or any of these guys, but I do think, like, Danny Dimes, Kyler Murray, like, dude, Trey Lance at 114, I will be smashing that all offseason. If I can get Trey Lance outside of the top 10 or, like, in the 10th round or later in fantasy drafts, like, I'll be doing that all day long. I will sign up for that. He has the rushing upside, and the risks are priced in. And if I'm taking him, I'm drafting 3 quarterbacks and throwing quantity at it. So I think it's a good look. What else we got? Yeah, he probably loses ADP in Jacksonville. Tampa would be a weird spot. We're back on the clock here. Should we just take JSN for funsies? There's a lot of really crazy looking running backs here, though. Like, I mean, we're technically in the dead zone here, but like the 6th round's like the end of the dead zone. Like, Aaron Jones kind of very fun here. Kamara too. Let's go JSN though. Let's go JSN. Stack up our positional advantage at quarterback or at wide receiver. I think that looks nice. I think that they would both. I think Dalvin falls off a cliff. I think you're right there, but I think Bijan would get bumped back to like 2-3 turn if that happens. I could be wrong. What else we got in here? Appreciate all the hard work and research you do. It really helps me prepare for the season. Thanks. Of course, man. Of course, dude. It's what I do. I'm in these streets. I'm looking. I'm lurking. Nathan, who's your RB3 in this class pre-combine? It's tough. I would say it's between one of 3 guys right now. It's between A-Chain, Tucker, Zach Evans. And I think Sean Tucker would be my RB3 if you could guarantee me day 2 draft capital. If not, then I think I go Devin A-Chain. I know he's undersized, but the receiving profile is nice. Apparently he's going to be super, super fast. He's going to be pretty much locked in for round 2 draft capital. You guys know me. I've never been scared to like draft an undersized running back or, take on that kind of risk. I do think that Devin A-Chain has super high upside in this class. But I will say I'm not really in love with anybody after Jahmyr Gibbs yet. Like, I'm not really even in love with Devin A-Chain. I don't know. I need more info, but those 3 are kind of, my guys, I would say. Or not my guys, but guys all in the same tier for that RB3 spot. What else we got in here? Sup, Bron? What's going on, Iglet? Do you feel like DeAndre Hopkins is properly rated in drafts right now? I feel like he's going a bit too late. Kind of like him more than Ridley because you can get Kirk later and Cooper. Where's D-Hop going? 4th round feels steep for Hopkins, man. 4th round is probably right where Hopkins should go. Like, that's actually right where, like, Titans Julio Jones was going. I think that's probably the right look for D-Hop. Because D-Hop's at a spot now where we kind of know, and I've been planning to make a video on this, but players don't have the super smooth, like, curve. It looks like that on graphs, but it's really more, who the heck did this? Adam Harstad. He is one of the greats of this industry, one of the Titans, OGs. He has a really, really cool article where he breaks down, it looks like that on a graph because when you average all of them together, but when you look at individual careers, it's really more of a instant fall off at a certain point, right? Julio, we got down the Titans, instant fall off. And that's kind of the risk you're running with D-Hop every year. So that's kind of the calculus you have to run. Like either he's going to be D-Hop and he'll give you a solid 16, 17, 18 points per game, or he'll be toast. And with that in mind, I'd want to move him back a little bit. He's not going to have Kyler early on. Maybe he gets moved. I know that he's somebody that could get moved or cut or traded. I don't really know about his contract. So there's a lot of risk in there. So I'd say he's probably right at a good spot. Like I would take Calvin Ridley over D-Hop. I would take Debo over him. I would take Devonta Smith over him. Like, I would say this is probably the right spot because I think I would have a tough time taking Watson. Yeah, I'd start to have a tough time taking these guys over D-Hop. So I do think that he's in a fine spot there. I wouldn't be dying to take him. What else we got? Debo discount looks sexy. Yeah, I agree, dude. I agree. He was somebody that you had to draft here last year, and you can now get him a round and a half later in round 3. I was honestly hoping there would be even a little bit more of a discount there. All right, what else we got? What else we got on the board? I might just take Addison. Addison's ADP is 68, and we can get him at 81. Sign me up. Welcome to the squad, Addison. What else we got? Also had a question. I think both Best Ball Mania winners these last 2 years went RB back-to-back in the first 2 rounds since wide receivers are being pushed up. Could the winner go wide receiver, then RB and RB? My first instinct would be no, but I think this far out in this contest, I think yes. I do think, like, it really just depends on what that third-round running back looks like because if you're threading that needle, the last 2 years it's been like Saquon, Eckler, and before that I think it was like Eckler, Aaron Jones. So you need like 2 guys that can give you like, top 6 running back seasons, one of them like 20 points per game. I think you can find that in the second round with guys like Saquon, Bijan. That's pretty much end of list for me when I'm looking at this off the hip. But I think third round right now there's value in Etienne and Breece Hall. So if I could start a draft like, it's tough because if you could start a draft like Cooper Kupp, Bijan or Saquon, and then go Etienne or Breece Hall, I think that would be a great way to do that. But I do like that idea of kind of going double running back, but sneaking in an elite wide receiver up top. All right, so what else we got here? I don't want to take a tight end, really. I could take a running back, but I don't really want to. Let's go James Conner, dude. Let's go James Conner. We'll take a running back here. Why not? I debated Waller there. But like, if Waller's at our next pick, we'll take him. I also do want to queue up some Bills in the passing game just to get some stacks together. Oh, damn, so Waller's already gone. Whatever. Just to get some stacks in. Is there anything else that's like... Okay. I think that looks good. Is Quentin Morris on the list? I like Quentin Morris. All right. I didn't love that. I kind of wish I took Waller there, but I think that's fine. Going Bijan and Allen together because I thought, hey, maybe they end up in Buffalo. Yeah, I like that idea. That's kind of what I'm doing with like JSN and Addison here. Like one of the two of them could very easily end up in Buffalo, and I get a big discount on that stack, which would be really fun. Man. Shout out Underdog, man. I truly do love that you can just draft. Like, we can draft 2023 teams right now. They're tournaments, and there are rookies in the player pool, dude. That is absolutely insane. Where would you take Lance in a Dynasty startup? Probably third, fourth round. Probably third round. He's a ton of upside. I was talking about him with Bush and the Stock Exchange boys on the stream early on this week. Damn, let me get the draft board back up. And it's tough with him because I think that he could just come out, Kyle Shanahan's offense, first 3 games, put up like 20, like 18 to 20 points per game, and he completely recoups value into the top 15. But if he comes out there, sucks, gets benched for Brock Purdy, then his value tanks. But I think in that third round of a startup where you're pretty much just looking at shiny toys at wide receiver, man. And I know that I've liked those guys in the past, like Devonta Smith, T. Higgins, Waddle. But a lot of those guys you're paying for just like a young name that probably won't give you difference-making production, you know. So I would just rather, I don't know. I would rather just take a swing on crazy upside. What else we got in here? I love doing Jones and Lance and another rushing quarterback. The ceiling is huge every week. Yeah, I agree. Like Anthony Richardson with them, or even like Tua, because you can stable that out. I know Karane's team that he won it all with, I think it was Daniel Jones, Tua, and Brady. So that's kind of like what I'm looking at. Like 3 guys that are like outside the top like 8 or 9 rounds. Couple different archetypes, right? Where you have Daniel Jones, who's like the young scrambling guy. I don't know why I'm being weird about that, but like the Konami code guy. Tom Brady, like an old pocket passer, and then Tua, kind of some uncertainty with like really strong weapons. Liked and subscribe. Thank you, Fantasy Dog. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, King. Yeah, bump back to the 2-3, then be my most owned player that season. I agree. H.N. is a legitimate world-class track athlete. Yeah, I've heard about that. I've heard that he, like, is a for real threat to run in the 4.2s. I would love to take. I think I'll take Zach Charbonnet here, dude. This is somebody that you can get in the 9th round right now, who could go in the 2nd round of the NFL draft. Like, I don't know. I don't know who else. Like, I'm trying to think. What was the 2nd rounders last year? Kenneth Walker, who was like I guess like an 8th, 9th round pick, but that was only because he was behind Rashad Penny. Breece Hall was like a 3rd, 4th round pick. I'm trying to think before that. So that would be the 2022 draft class, not ETN. I guess James Cook is in there too, but James Cook was like a 7th, 8th round pick as well. So I don't know. Late 9th, Zach Charbonnet feels good in a 0 RB team. No Charbs, RB3. Yeah, Charbonnet's tough for me, man. I'm not in love with him. He just looks like David Montgomery to me, and that's fine. That's fine. It's just not really what I chase. Now, if he goes into the combine and he absolutely shreds it, I'm in. I mean, he's a big boy. He'll pop in speed score. He'll pop in relative athletic score. But if he comes out there and he plods like a, I mean, what did David Montgomery run? Like 4.63 or something, right? Is that an unfair comp for Charbonnet? All right, so we're back on the clock here. I don't really want to take a running back again. Let's go. Dude, the wide receivers that are up next are absolutely brutal. But there's a lot of wide receivers after that I like. Let's get Dawson Knox for the stack. It's going to be a little bit of a reach here on Knox, but I'm fine with that. Little bit of a reach here, but ADP isn't. I mean, it's only the draft. This contest has only been up for 1 day. What else we got in here? Hey Ron, how's it going? DT Mac. Wow, it's a steal for Addison. I agree, dude. I will say, dude. There's some wide receivers hanging on the board right now that I really like, and we'll get into when I'm back on the clock. We got Mike Murray in here, all caps, bringing the heat. What's going on, brother? Mike Murray. I think Kenny Pickett could be a breakout quarterback to go after as well. Yeah, I don't mind him. He actually scrambled a bit last year, so he's kind of interesting in that way. Yeah, I agree. 9th round Sharps is fine. Yeah, I agree. 3-down skill set, good draft capital. He's interesting, but like I'm just not like drooling over Charbonnet, I guess, I don't know. I got to see what he tests like, because that'll be interesting. I like that he's a big boy. I like that he catches passes. But like, I need a little bit more. Maybe he's a little bit better than Montgomery. It's going to be interesting to see how he tests. That's really what it's going to come down to for me. Because if he's athletic, then I'm in. But if he's kind of a plotter, not as interested. Let's see. Yeah, and you know me, I haven't watched any Charbonnet tape outside of just like I've tuned into a couple of Chip Kelly UCLA games with Dorian Thompson or whatever, and he's looked good. And I knew that he's like a Debbie Darling, who's like a 4 or 5 star recruit, popped for Michigan early. Definitely shows up. My model has him right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has him RB5. I think that's right where he'll be for me. So I'm not saying that I'm low on him, but he's definitely not somebody I'm excited about to have as like RB5. Like I think right now, gun to my head, I'd have him as like RB6. I think I would have him behind Bijan, Gibbs, A-Chain, Tucker, Evans. And then I think Charbonnet's right there. Like Charbonnet, Tank, Bigsby right there. Underdog is top flight for sure, dude. 100%. Like I was saying, dude, no one else out here is doing this, dude. Not even like sleeper. If you want to do a sleeper mock draft for 2023, the ADP is trash. All of it's garbage. This is ADP it's going to update tomorrow and the day after that, and we're going to have like a real living, breathing market of what 2023 should look like by the end of this week, which is insane. It's insane data to have. It's why I've held off on doing any of those like last year when I would like look through my teams, look through patron teams in Dynasty. I want up-to-date ADP to project forward. So this is the wide receiver I was talking about. Give me Kayshon Boutte. Dude, Kayshon Boutte in the 11th round, someone who's going to be like a top 50 pick. Now, none of the other wide receivers I like are on the board, but the other guys I was talking about that I like Michael Thomas in the 11th round, and I also like Elijah Moore in the 11th round. Those are two guys I think that are great picks outside the top 10 rounds. Like, Elijah Moore to me is very similar to what Brandon Ayuk presented you last year, and you're getting him in the 11th round. I feel like Ayuk was what, like a 7th, 8th round guy last year? I think Elijah Moore probably, like, if Aaron Rodgers comes to town, this Elijah Moore 11th round probably shoots up to, like, right around this area. Maybe I'm being a Jets homer. Let me know. Check me on that. If I'm being a Jets homer, check me. But I do think, for as good of a prospect Elijah Moore was and as strong as his year 1 was, I'm willing to give year 2. Like, I think the year 2... oh, my goodness. But you get what I'm saying. Hold up. So what's our build right now? 6 wide receivers. I do want to cut off at like 6 or 7 wide receivers. Is there anything in here that looks sexy? Let's see. I might take Antonio Gibson, man. I might take Antonio Gibson, dude. Sean Tucker would be fun, but I don't think that there's a lot of value in that Sean Tucker ADP right there. Let's go Gibson. Oh, my goodness. Almost didn't get that pick off. Jeez. Sorry for coughing all over you boys. Jeez, dude. Dude, I've been coughing like crazy since the new year, dude. It's insane. I already have like a long-standing cough, dude. I'm like a baby. I have like whooping cough. All right, so what else we got in here? Where are you at on Kendre Miller? I don't like Kendre Miller at all, guys. Or not at all. That's too harsh. But he's been getting a lot of buzz. Like, I see him as a clear tier behind. Like to me, Tucker, Sharp, Evans, Bigsby, A-Chain, like those are all my like top flight guys. I wouldn't put Kendre Miller in there at all. Not at all. He looks like he is pretty much a between the tackles grinder. He didn't catch any passes. He's going to go day 3. He's interesting as like a, I guess like a early 3rd, late 2nd rookie pick. But he's been getting steamed up into like that early 2nd round. Now, I will say, as a pure rusher, he has opportunity to move up my rankings if he kills the combine, if he pops in yards created for Graham Bar. Oh my goodness, dude. I literally can't talk. I don't know what the issue is, fellas. Am I speaking too loudly? Trying to put on a good show for my audience. And I'm just coughing all over the place. But what did I say about Kendre Miller? I'm also, let me know if I'm butchering that name. I think he's solid. I know he kind of ran Zach Evans out of town. But at the end of the day, between the tackles grinder, he could pop in Graham Barfield's yards created, as a lot of those guys kind of do. Like, he kind of looks like Ronald Jones to me. Is that like a decent comp for Kendre Miller? He kind of looks like Ronald Jones like from an analytical side of things. So, yeah, not super excited about him. And remember, Ronald Jones got second-round draft capital. He'd be like a shitty version of Ronald Jones. I actually love the Mike Gesicki call. Kyler and Russ over Lance makes no sense. Yeah, I agree that Lance's price makes absolutely no sense on this, dude. 10th round Lance is crazy. You just want Sharbs in Carolina? That's a decent idea. Let's see, what's on the board here? I might just take Sean Tucker if he's going to fall in my lap like this. No, I'm going to go A-Chain. The issue that I have with Tucker is his draft capital is so volatile, man. So volatile. You could go like 6th round and it wouldn't shock me at all. I think Devin A-Chain's actually a solid bet to go 2nd round at the latest. Now, here's my question. How many running backs, how many tight ends? I'm on 2 quarterbacks, 3 tight ends, so that's 5. And we have 15 more. Probably 8 running backs, 7 wide receivers. So probably 2, 8, 7, 3. Okay, so that'll be what we're gunning for here. Should we take Taysom Hill as like a 3rd tight end? I'm gonna say no. But damn, I kind of wanted Isaiah Hodgins there. Alec Pierce, 2nd round wide receiver. Sky Moore. Yeah, I'm going to hold off on that. And let's do Ertz. I kind of like Zach Ertz as a 14th round, late round dart throw at tight end. Feel free to flame me for that, fellas. Feel free to flame me for that, but he really wasn't that bad prior to the injury this year. I think he'll give me some points. You said RB3 on is probably going to be dictated by draft capital. Yeah, I agree. It'll be draft capital, combine, all that good stuff. I agree. It's just I'm not. I know some guys are very firm that like Charbonnet is like their 2 or 3. I can't get there. But like top 5, sure. I'm not sure I like MT, but I do like Moore and Boutte there. Dude, Michael Thomas for dirt cheap, I do like. He was good when he was on the field last year. He might go to a new spot. All the risk is completely out of there. Like, give me Michael Thomas in the 11th round over DeAndre Hopkins in the 4th. Feel free to shoot me. Yeah, exactly. Are you okay, bro? No. Does Kendre Miller have fumble issues? Like, I don't know about fumble issues, but I mean, Ronald Jones went 2nd round, so I mean, if he had fumble issues, coaches didn't care. You know what I mean? Like, almost as a prospect, Ronald Jones is kind of his ceiling. But I know that Ronald Jones is kind of like a north-south upright runner. I haven't watched a snap of Kendre Miller. A-Chain over Tucker for sure. NFL teams draft speed. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The reason, like, A-Chain outside of Gibbs and Bijan is the guy I'm most confident goes day 2. Did they add 2 more rounds this year? I probably should have prefaced this. This is just for the big board. So because there's so much uncertainty with players in free agency, draft picks and everything, the big board is 20 rounds, but like Best Ball Mania and like all the big tournaments like in the spring and forward, those will be 18 rounds. These are just 20 because, it's so far out that it's kind of a crapshoot, You don't want to make it too thin, and you can't, like, a lot of teams can't set lineups because, I don't know, you load up on all these rookies. What if, like, 3 of them go day 3 or undrafted, I'm trying to think of a guy last year that was, like, somebody that we really liked in the fantasy space and then just got 0 draft capital. Like, I know that's happened with Tyler Johnson out of Minnesota, Jamar Jefferson out of Oregon State. I was going to say David Bell, but he got draft capital last year. Kyron Williams kind of fits in that camp, but not really. What else we got? What else? Anybody has Dynasty questions? Anybody has rookie questions? What do you got, fellas? So we're back up here. Should we take Purdy? What is running back drying out quick or quarterback drying out quick? No. Dude, Nico Collins kind of interesting. Dude, give me Zach Evans, bro. I can't stop taking Zach Evans, dude. I can't stop. Too cheap. 15th round is too cheap for a guy who's projected to go day 3 right now. Far, far, far too cheap. Now, I'm trying to think. We don't want all of these running backs to be rookies, so that'll probably be it for me with rookie running backs. I do like Cordero Patterson here. All right, so again, 2 quarterbacks. So we need 1 more quarterback, 1 more tight end, 1 more wide receiver, 2 more running backs. That's what we're doing here. And while we're doing that, I got to text my mother. What else we got? Anybody have big predictions for the Super Bowl game? I really don't. Or actually, no. I do have a pretty big bet on Chiefs money line. Dude, I kind of want to take Purdy. Should I take Purdy as my backup to Josh Allen? I'm going to say no. Ooh, I do have Debo. I could get a stack to Debo. Should I take Michael Mayer? Let's go Michael Mayer as our 3rd tight end. What do the rest of the tight ends look like? I think they get pretty ugly. Let's have some fun and take Michael Mayer. So now we're good at tight end. We still need a quarterback, but we have Josh Allen, so quarterback doesn't really matter. Jimmy G, Levis, Tannehill I'd be comfortable with. Ooh, quarterback kind of falls off. All right, so let's actually make an effort to try and take Jimmy G. I guess we'll make an effort to take Levis. Like, I want one of these top 3. The rest it really falls off with. What else we got in here? You got confused when you got to round 19. Ended up just taking Kincaid because he's been getting drafted. Yeah, 100%, dude. Is Jalen Hurts QB3 too high in Dynasty? He's not just a power back playing point guard anymore. He's efficient beyond belief. No, it's not too high. At this point, he's earned that. I completely updated my database, and one of the things that the thing that I'm solving for essentially with these models is a quarterback's points per game over their first 3 games or their first 3 seasons, right? So that's on a per game basis, the games that you start as a quarterback, years 1 through 3. And when I just sort points per game year 1 through 3, it's Lamar Jackson. So this is since 2007. Lamar Jackson with 24.2 points per game over his first 3 seasons. Mahomes with 23.63 points per game, or 23.6 points per game in his first 3 seasons. After that, it is Jalen Hurts, 23.2 points per game, and then Deshaun Watson, 22.4 points per game. So Jalen Hurts, through 3 seasons, in the games that he started, points per game wise, is up there with Lamar, Mahomes, Deshaun, guys who we have seen been as good as it gets through the first 3 years, like top 5 finishes, all of that. Jalen Hurts has been that. He was in the MVP race this year, got hurt. He is good in real life. He is good as a thrower. He runs the ball, and it's a little bit more sustainable because he's more, he's built better and bigger than a Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray. He's not tiny. So I'm very much bought in. And then they've invested the weapons around him as well. I personally would still go in a vacuum Lamar over him, but the market prefers what am I trying to say, dude? At this point, the market prefers Jalen Hurts. So if I was on the clock at the 103, I would probably take Jalen Hurts over Lamar just because of trade value. $33-30 Eagles win, gonna smash the over. I like the over. Now, I will say, fellas, I just want to flash it one more time before we wrap up here. We got a site-wide special on Underdog. Doesn't matter if you're new, if you've been on the site. They're giving you a free square in the pick'em. Jalen Hurts over under 0.5 total yards. Of course, you go over. And then from there, you string together some other higher lowers, and you go out there, have something fun to root for during the big game. So, of course, if you're new there, use promo code RON. Link is in the description, live chat, comments, all that good stuff. Yeah, that's a fair point, too. Roseman has been much more willing to give his quarterback weapons. It makes no sense at all. Lamar Jackson is a free man. He's not under contract. It makes no sense at all for him to stay there. If I was him, just because the decision makers have shown they don't want to support him, put weapons around him. It is a positive sign that they fired OC Greg Roman. So maybe they'll want to build some kind of a passing game around him. I'm hoping that no one takes Jimmy G right now, dude. This is a really tough spot. Come on, dude. What the hell is this guy doing with 4-4-4? Please, dude. Pass on Jimmy G, brother. Pass on Jimmy G, brother. Please. Please. Okay, there we go. Give me Jimmy G. I think that he ends up in a spot next year and starts. Like, I don't know if it'll be the Raiders or the Jets or something like that, but or the Titans. But I think that he starts. I think that he starts like 10+ games next year. I'm going to try and take Khalil Shakur if I can. On the way back. What's going on, Nicholas? How we doing? How we doing? What's everybody got planned for the Super Bowl? I still don't know what I'm doing. I think I might just have some of the fellas over, but I don't know. Wow, Oh, Khalil Shakur went, dude. You're going to take Khalil Shakur, bro? Come on, dude. Why must you do me like this? So now what the hell do I do? It's got to be running back. Man, it's so tough not to just take Roschon Johnson every damn time, dude. Give me Darius Slayton as my last wide receiver. I actually do think he was such a focal point of that offense last year. Not a focal point, but there was, like, all the wide receivers sucked, and Darius Slayton was one of the few bright spots there. I think Dable, like, I mean, if Darius Slayton stays in New York, which I imagine he does, I don't know if he's a free agent, I think he'll probably be an involved part of that offense. All right, so this is good. Wide receivers all short up. Let's draft 2 more running backs. In terms of guys that I'm interested in at this point, Roshan is fun. I guess Kendra Miller's fun. Pierre Strong's actually fun. Michael Carter's kind of fun. But is Zonovan Knight around? I like Zonovan Knight. Who else is in the mix? Naeem Hines, I'm good. Josh Kelly's kind of interesting, but I'm chilling on that. Abinaconda's kind of interesting. Chase Edmonds is toast. Hilliard is somewhat interesting. Keontae Ingram's kind of interesting. Melvin Gordon's somewhat interesting, but I'm going to we'll star him. Why not? Who are some of your guys' favorite sleepers right now that are, like, on NFL deals, too? Breda. Michael Hasty was fun in spots last year. I'm chilling on. Darrell Henderson could be fun. If he finds a spot, he always could. Now, I'm only getting so deep into no man's land here because, I don't know, I kind of just want to get as, like, unique as possible. So I kind of just want to see what's hidden down here. Because you can just draft a player that probably won't be drafted. You get a nice little edge up on people. Let me know. Let me know what are some fun. Let me know what are some fun, like, late round running backs that are weird. Ron, in the next draft, there's only a few spots left, and you start a new draft. I'm only doing one tonight, sadly. So I'm gonna hop off once this wraps up. Ron, are we in on Jonathan Taylor next year? Probably won't be a target of mine, but, like, I think his price is probably fine. Yeah, like 1-2 turn, I'll be taking Jonathan Taylor plenty. I'll be having plenty of Jonathan Taylor if I can get him late first. Delete some beers is the plan. I feel it. Does not knowing bye weeks change your strategy at all? Honestly, no. Honestly, no. I've never been one to look too much at bye weeks. Late guy, but what about Tavion Thomas out of Utah? Came in at 247 pounds. He came in at 247 pounds, Hurricane Lane. 247, dude. That's insane. Should fire his agent. I'm playing. Let me see. I believe. Oh yeah, he doesn't pop too well in the model, but that's interesting. I mean, if he's I feel like at 247 he could run like a 4.6 and have like a 99th percentile speed score. All right, let's see the draft board. Man, I hate to say it, if Roshan Johnson's available and we're on the board, I'm taking Roshan Johnson. I don't even really love Roshan Johnson, but he's going to test well. He's going to get drafted higher than we want him to. So he's going to find his way onto my team. So that's really what it comes down to here. Keaton Mitchell still hanging around? Keaton Mitchell is fun. Damn, no suit for you takes Roshan. I guess give me Kendra Miller, dude. Or no, give me Pierre. Give me Pierre Strong. I don't want to have too many rookies because like some of these guys have to go undrafted if that makes sense. So if you fill your entire team with rookies, could get rookie running backs at least. You could get screwed over. Anybody have any closing thoughts here? By the way, as always, if you're new to Underdog, you can hop on there, use promo code RON, they'll match your deposit all the way up to $100. I have a link in the description, chat, all that good stuff. In case you guys want to hop into one of these yourself, see what the ADP is looking like, all of that good stuff. I think I'll take Kendre Miller here if they let me. Let's take Kendre Miller. Why not? So that's a team. Let's kind of look. I don't know. I don't love the team. It's kind of a 0 RB team. So we go Diggs. We pair him with Allen, Debo, Ridley. Gibbs is our RB1 in a 0 RB build. I think it's pretty fun. JSN and Addison at 6'7", I think is going to be a huge steal when we look back once ADP comes out. James Conner here is okay. I kind of wish I went Waller here, but I also don't mind it. Sharp's great value. Knox to stack with Allen. I think Butte is going way too late. I think Butte and Hyatt are going way too late. This is actually the highest I've seen Hyatt go. But he's someone that could go in the first round in the NFL draft. What else we got in here? Like, Kayshon Butte shouldn't be, like a full 2 rounds behind Zay Flowers? Yeah, dude, if Zay Flowers is going here, Kayshon Butte has no business at all going this far, dude. What else we got? And I just hammered running backs. I think Gibson's actually a fun late. Like, if you can get 12th round Gibson, and he's such a freak athletically and can catch passes, that's the profile we want. And Brian Robinson really isn't that great. Devin Achane, I think, is a great value. Like, Devin Achane, 13th round. He's going to be someone that's going inside the top 10 rounds by the summer. I think same thing with Zach Evans. Mayer's like an interesting pick. Jimmy G, we'll see if he starts games. But yeah, this is a solid team. It's a weird kind of like 0 RB-ish type team. But that is going to do it for us today. As always, I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me on a Saturday night. Stay tuned. We got some content coming up here. Super Bowl tomorrow. Again, one last time. One time for the one time. Site-wide special. You hop on Underdog, higher or lower. They are giving you a free square, essentially. Jalen Hurts, higher or lower, 0.5 total yards. You hammer the over. You hammer the higher. And then you put together just an absolute dream of a slip and have something fun to look forward to for the Super Bowl. So with all that being said, I love you guys. Have a good weekend. I'm working hard on these prospect models. Going to get that out to the Patreon as soon as possible. Make some fire content. Be on the lookout. And I'll see y'all in the next one.